Okay.
Hi everybody, we are here with Paul Greene, a personal favorite of mine. Welcome, lovely Paul.
Well, thank you.
Now, as you well know, this project is all about freedom, and you in particular live a life that many envy. You live a life of full exuberance and freedom, and you have an ability to make people feel that freedom and exuberance when they're around you. So I guess what we want to get to is, where does that come from, and how do you cultivate it? How do you walk out into life every day with infinite possibilities and just being who you are?
Well, thank you, by the way. It's really nice that is how you see me and how the experience is. I think it comes from when I was young, like as a little boy playing on the acreage of the farm I grew up in. I was always running as fast as I could in bare feet, climbing trees, building forts, getting in trouble. And if I had a shirt, it would, as a kid, it would say, "Don't tell me what to do." I was violently opposed to any oppression. So me breaking through and breaking free from rules and into freedom has always been the way that I've been. Mm-hmm. And I think I've always just made sure that my life was fun, no matter what. Like in school, when they would give me projects to do or things to do, I would always try and find the most fun way to do it. And that's still how I live my life now, is fun, playfulness, enjoying myself. I always try and find a way to do whatever it is with a level of play and fun.
I can definitely vouch for that. I mean, I think the trap that people are falling into these days is taking themselves so seriously, and they forget that life is here to be enjoyable, right? And that you can add an element of fun to nearly anything. And I've seen you transform something completely mundane, where everyone's like, oh, to actually creating joy and fun around it. And so what is that? What is it that you think that has you able to transform a situation and bring joy into anything? And for everyone around you. It's not just for yourself. You're not, you don't take away from anyone. You involve everyone in the fun and allow them to get playful too. So what do you think that?
I think you just hit on what it was. It's making sure it's fun for everyone, not just for me. So has to be a win-win-win. Like when I was a kid, it wasn't a win-win. It was me have fun, teachers suffer. Me have fun, my parents be worried. As I got older and I was traveling freedom, like I was living in Europe at 18 on my own, and 19 living all over Europe and Asia, and I had chose a career even at 18, 19 years old that had me traveling every country with incredible freedom. But when I was younger, there was a cost. I was always doing things that were pushing the limits, and there wasn't a win-win. As I got older, the focus came on how does everyone around me experience play and fun and enjoyment, not just me. And that takes some creativity and generating like the environment to be a space where people want to be in, and seeing possibility and opportunity in the situation. Like you could do it that way or you could do it this way, and one way is more fun and you can still get the enjoyment and you can get the results, but on your way to getting the results you can kind of enjoy yourself. But it has to be a win-win. You can't be having fun while others are not. That's one thing I've learned as I've gotten older.
And what would you say is the biggest takeaway when you know you've left an environment better than what you walked into it?
The biggest takeaway, like the proof sort of that...
Yeah, like let's say you walk into a situation and it feels intense and people are like stressed and unhappy, and then you come in and do whatever it is, and so obviously they get left happier, but what is the benefit in you? So when anyone that wants to like take on something where, because I think sometimes we think, oh, if I'm trying to make everyone else's environment better, it's going to take away from me or it's going to drain me. I think some people go into that space. So what would you say for you, and what would you give as a pointer to others to help it so it gives back to you as well as everybody else?
It reminds me of what Tony Robbins said, that if you want to be paid more, you have to add value. And I think that if that is a very basic, fundamental thing that you're trying to create is value. So any situation that you're in, whether it's your work, let's say your work is mundane and you're not happy, you're not being paid enough, you're not being acknowledged, find ways to add value to your work environment and to others, and you will eventually get paid more. And it's also the recipe for happiness is adding value to other people's lives, not living yourself. Not living your life just for yourself to make yourself happy. You have to, so if I leave a situation and there's been value added, whether that's been a spirit of play or some music or food, or we've gone on a bit of an adventure, or there's been stories told, or we've talked about a subject that leaves people touched or moved or inspired, I think those are all benchmarks, right? If someone's inspired, you've probably added some value. And in the workplace, or if you're trying to move up in your career, that is the only way to be paid more, is to add value. And for people who are very depressed, if you add value to other people's lives, it's a quick route out of that loop of depression, because you're living for other people, not just to make yourself happy. You're putting other people and you're adding value to other people's lives. And I think that is a gateway to freedom, is adding value.